Hey everybody, I'm Luca and you're on a culinary journey. So this is what I'm doing today. One of my favorite things is that whole chicken Parmesan thing, right? Well, you get it everywhere, but I'm going to make it just like we would do it at home and with some really minor twists, but it's going to make it that much better. So we're going to take pork and these beautiful big pork chops. On it, we're going to put this rustic tomato sauce with red wine and tomatoes and then some shaved Parmigiano. It's incredible. We're going to add some green beans with a little twist there and some pan-roasted potatoes to make the ultimate dinner that you're going to want to make right after you watch that show. So what else is there to say but your culinary journey starts now. Hey everybody, welcome back. Again, I'm Luca and this is our culinary journey. We're going to be doing pork chop parmigiana. So you've had pork chops or you've had chicken parm or veal parm at restaurants, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to try and do that same concept, but just bring it up to that next level. This is what we used to have at home. I've always wanted to share this with everyone, so that's what we're going to make. First thing you need to have is some really cool pork chops. These are center cut pork chops. We got the bone still on them. It's going to keep it nice and moist and tender. It's absolutely wonderful. Next thing we're going to do is actually dredge these and get them pan seared. So I'm going to get my stove on to like medium high. We'll get that going. And then over here, I'm going to, let's get these off to the side for a little bit. I'm going to get all my ingredients for my dredging. So we got eggs, well, flour, then eggs, and then breadcrumbs, and we're going to sear those off, and then we're going to make our vegetables and all that fun stuff right after. So the first thing I need to do is chop up some fresh parsley to put in my breadcrumbs. Now, I want to season my breadcrumbs all the time. I want to make sure they're seasoned, and I want to make sure there's flavor in there. So we're going to have a lot of different things. And then if my good friends off camera could get me a towel, that would be the coolest thing. You got to watch this. I have this little system that works if we have towels in the place, that you just ask for things and then they just fly onto the set. See, whoop, there you go, boom. If you get one of those for home, they're really cool because all you have to do is ask for stuff and they fly at you. I asked for a knife once. So let's chop up our parsley. We're going to get that into our breadcrumbs. We're going to salt and pepper our breadcrumbs because we want to season as we go using a nice kosher salt. And I'm going to salt and pepper my flour also. And then finally, this little spice blend that I put together is called ariosto. It's a blend of about 12 to 13 different dry herbs and spices that I love to use all the time. All right, so maybe a little more parsley in there. Super simple. I mean, if you're having company over, what's great about this, or even just for the family, whether it be, you could do this with chicken too, but the pork comes out great. And I can cook it to a medium rare, and we'll talk about that a little bit more later. But the best thing about this is you could actually do these ahead of time. You could do all the pork chops ahead of time, get them going, have the tomato sauce ahead of time, and then put them together. So it's something you could put together the day before, warm it up in the oven, and you could do it the day of when people are coming over, and there's no mess, no fuss. So let's just pull that off of there. And we have our little egg wash here. Da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. Oh, wait, you're still there watching. I got to keep going. All right, so the most important thing I want to get going in this whole process is our pork chops because they're going to take the longest. And we're actually going to try and do this all so that way you see it all from beginning to end. So let's get our pork chop, our sauce back on there. Get a little oil in the pan. Turn this down to a light right now. I want to get a good amount of oil in there because we're actually going to be frying the breadcrumb on the pork chop, and that's the important thing on it. So season again. Now what might look like I'm seasoning a lot, I'm really not. Kosher salt, what's great about it, it's bigger salt. I don't use as much, like if you use iodized salt and use this much iodized salt, you'd actually start making things salty, and that's not what you want. Salt enhances flavor, brings out the flavors that are around. What you don't want to do is salt to make it salty. So that's really important when you're cooking to do. So we're going to dredge it first in our sad face flour here. That's one. Make sure you take any excess flour off. And then in our egg wash, and then in our breadcrumb. Ooh, this looks yummy already. I want some of this. Oh wait, I will have some. And we'll get it frying in there. All right, let's do the same thing again. And voila, nice and easy. All right, egg wash and breadcrumb. And this is the process you would do for all types of breading, whether it's, again, chicken, pork, veal, you name it. You can even do fish this way, which is really yummy. And what you put in the breadcrumb is totally up to you. I'm using panko breadcrumbs, but you could use an Italian seasoned breadcrumb, whatever you like. So let's get 2 of those in there, and we'll work on this other one when we go to a break. Okay, so we'll get that going. And then the other thing I want to get going, too, at the same time, is our sauce. So I'm going to start that at the same time. So let's get our saucepan on. So everybody good with me so far? You know where I'm going? Yeah? Perfect. Voila. So the sauce is going to be nice and easy. It's going to be really rustic. So what I'm going to do is just take an onion, get it in there. We're going to saute that onion down, and then we're going to add some tomatoes to it, red wine, and that's it, some fresh herbs. You know, the whole thing about Italian sauces, red sauces, you know, people think you have to cook them for a long time. Not at all. All you really need to do is just get the flavor of the tomatoes, make those pop, get really good tomatoes, that'll help. And then you take the wine and reduce that down and make a nice quick tomato sauce. Let's turn this before it starts overcooking on me. Let's get a nice brown on. Let's see where we're at. Ooh, nice. Nice little golden brown. That looks beautiful. All right, we'll sear both of those up. And I'll get a little oil in this pan. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a quick little break. I'm going to get oil in this pan. We're going to chop these onions and get them in there. And what I'm going to do is, well, before I go away, let's see how I chop them up real quick. Make 2 slices through. And then, boom, right down the middle. The easiest way to chop up, right there. That's all we're going to need is a little bit of that. We'll saute those onions in there. All right? And then we'll get this one going. The last thing the last 2 parts about this that we're going to do are the vegetables and the potatoes. Great, I'm going to show you a cool way to do potatoes where you don't have to put them in the oven at all. And you're going to just put them all in the pan. And we're going to saute them down. So let's get those going. A little salt and pepper on our onions. Let's kind of get those nice, almost a little bit of caramelization on there. Real simple. We have our pork chop that I'm going to transfer to this pan. And when we come back, we're going to start putting the other ingredients together. So don't go away. It gets to be even a lot more fun. See you in a culinary minute.
Personal foul? Inactive activities on a glorious day.
Huh?
Let's get out there and play!
Sweet.
Ooh, freeze!
When do I get to be in? Uh-oh.
Hey, Reggie, frozen people can't talk.
P-L-A-Y!
An hour a day.
I'm in. There are lots of great play ideas online, but don't stay too long.
I'm Jeremy Call, and I made suction tires. Wait, what? Wait. I used a rivet gun to connect the suction cups, and then I just connected it to the tire. I got the idea from an octopus because of the suction cups, and I don't know.
Anything's possible. Keep thinking. Get started on your invention at inventnow.org.
Explore new worlds. Read. Visit literacy.gov.
Hey everybody, welcome back. So what I'm doing is I got my last pork cooking. Gonna put that in the oven. Oh, that looks beautiful. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Let's get that in there. We're gonna finish the pork so they get to about a medium rare to a medium. A little bit of pink in the inside's okay. Don't let people scare you that says you can't have a little pink. Absolutely works wonderful. So now, I've caramelized my onions, right? So I want to get as much flavor out of those onions as possible. I think I added some Ariosto, but I want to add some more. Then I'm going to add some red wine to that. I'm going to cook that down. Ooh. All right. Just a little bit more. So we're going to let that cook down. Then we're going to add our tomatoes to that. So we're going to almost stew the onions in the red wine, which are going to be absolutely beautiful. We're going to let that come down, and we're going to add something to that. On the other side, we're going to make our potatoes. Now, there's a couple of cool ways to make your potatoes, and this one is one of my favorites. This is just pan-fried potatoes, and they're going to have a little bit of lemon and a little bit of rosemary. So I'm just taking fresh red potatoes. I didn't even boil them down or anything, and I'm just going to cut them almost into thin slices. So think potato chips, only bigger, right? And we're going to let them get so much flavor on them. So we just need what? It's only for 3 of us, so each have basically 1 potato. Now I need to have enough surface in the pot to do this because I want all the potatoes to touch at all times. I'm going to get some oil in this hot pot. And this is just something different. You don't want to boil the potatoes. You don't want to cook them off in the oven. You don't want to do anything to them. You just want to throw them in a pan and let them cook. Make sure they're thin. Make sure they're a red potato or not one that's too heavy, not one that's too waxy, because these will cook down the best. Get our oil hot, and we're going to season all our potatoes right there. Again, be generous with your salt and pepper as long as you're using kosher salt. If you're using iodized salt at home and you're doing this, be careful. It's going to just taste way salty. And this is the best, even if you have a nice fine sea salt, that works well too. Now we're going to get them in there. Almost like I said, almost like frying them, but we're going to kind of caramelize our potatoes. There's a lot of natural sugar in potatoes, so they're going to help that cook. See if we get them all in there without burning my hand. And you can put some on top because we're going to kind of toss them around, but as long as we have 1 layer down, all right? Nice and easy so far. So I have company coming over in about a half hour, and I want to cook all this stuff. Either way, I said you could do this if you want to do this ahead of time at home. Sweaters always pick up everything, don't they? Stay away. If you want to spend some time and get this done before people come over, that's great. If you're in a rush, it's still a really quick dish, and that's the coolest thing about it. It's going to be very, very quick. So let's go back here where our onions are stewing down with our red wine. Ooh, that's looking good. The red wine is getting all that nice flavor. And then we're just going to add some canned tomatoes to that. My cans happen to come in these bottles. No, they don't. It's cool when you don't want to show name brands. You just put everything in there. And then we're just going to stew. Now, I like San Marzano tomato. San Marzano is not actually a brand. It's a type of tomato from a region in Italy. They're just sweeter. They're nicer. I don't have to add any sugar to this. I don't have to add any carrots to sweeten it up. The acidity level is not quite as high. It's absolutely wonderful. And that's going to be our basic sauce. So we have our onions, we have our tomatoes, we have our red wine. That's what I'm going to do for a sauce. The only thing I'm going to add to that is a little parsley and herbs right near the end. The other thing I want to get started on doing is our green beans. Okay, get to you in a second. So let's check out how our potatoes are doing also. So this is a little early in the cooking process. Now remember, potatoes contain a lot of water also, so it might spit at you, so just be careful. And they're just not happy about being cooked apparently. But you just let them cook in there, let them get that fry, let that oil go. Just make sure if you need to cover it. And we won't think about these till a little bit later when we're going to add our lemon and our rosemary. All right, we got flame? We got flame, perfect. Same thing with green beans. Now a lot of people will tell you, with your vegetables, you need to blanch them off first and then cook them later. You get that? Well, there's 2 schools of thought. If you're thinking French cuisine actually does that. What they do is they blanch off all their vegetables first, then they saute with them. Italians, either we're lazy or we're drinking too much wine at the same time. So we say, why do all that? You're going to take away some, not only nutrients, but flavor, and you're going to take away this croccante, this nice crunch that vegetables have about them. As close to uncooked as possible is what you get the most nutrients. But more importantly, all that flavor, just keep it in there. So what we're going to do is just take a little bit of olive oil into our pan, right? I'm going to take the green beans. I'm just going to put them in there. Again, we're going to season them just a little bit. We're going to finish this off with some butter too. Butter. Hold on. Butter. All right. And then so we'll get a shallot in there too to kind of just bring in another level of flavor in there. And I'm going to julienne the shallots. Oh, you come back there. There we go. All right. So we got our shallots going in there. Boom, boom, boom. Nice, nice. There we go. And we'll add some sun-dried tomatoes for color. So now we're just going to let those cook down. That's all we really need to do is season it that way, and we're ready to go. So let's get back to and recap a little bit about what we're doing. You got to check out like one of these potatoes. See if you guys get a picture of this. And flip it over because it should start getting golden. See that? Almost like a fried potato. I'm going to flip some of those over. Some of them will be ready. Don't want them all to be too brown, but it's going to be some nice flavors in there in a little bit. And we're going to add to that. We're going to add some lemon and some rosemary to there. We're going to finish our string beans in a little bit with some butter. And then we have our tomato sauce that's working, and our pork chops are in the oven. So we're almost there. People are almost over. We need to finish this up pretty quickly, and we will. But I'm going to take a quick break. When I come back, let's start putting the final parts of this together, plate it up, and eat. See you in a minute.
Yo, check out this chef, right? Right? That's so gay. That's really gay. Dude, look at those hands.
Please don't say that.
What?
Don't say that something is gay when you mean that something is dumb or stupid. It's insulting. It's like if I thought this pepper shaker was stupid and I said, man, and this pepper shaker is so 16-year-old boy with a cheesy mustache. Just saying. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
Listen well, all of you.
A wildfire.
No!
Can come from anywhere.
Where?
Even the most unexpected places. But 9 out of 10 are caused by humans and can be prevented. Protect our friends in the forest.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
I'm Gary Sinise. You may know me as Lieutenant Dan from the movie Forrest Gump or as the bass player in the Lieutenant Dan Band. I've had the honor to meet many of our soldiers and veterans. It's a sad fact that some of our warriors, some of our nation's finest citizens, are wasting their lives through suicide. Suicide is not the answer. It's final. It robs you of your chances for a better life and brings pain and heartbreak to your loved ones. You don't have to go it alone. VA cares about you. VA is reaching out to veterans who are thinking about suicide. So reach back now. Don't wait. Call 1-800-273-TALK and press 1. Our counselors will not share your information with anyone. Thousands of veterans have had the courage to call. How about you? Call 1-800-273-TALK and press 1.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Look at this, man. This is so incredible. I'm having so much fun and not dropping anything just yet. So we have red wine and tomato stewing down. That's absolutely incredible. We have these potatoes that are going to get this golden brownness to it, and that's beautiful and yummy. And then I'm going to add some rosemary to this mix. All last minute, we're going to kind of almost fry that rosemary into the fry. Oh, the flavors that are going to come off of this are going to be tremendous. And then a little bit of lemon juice. I love potato, lemon, and rosemary. Those are all just big, big hits for me. Get that going. Yes, 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 yes. And then just a little bit of butter, just a touch, in our vegetables. It's better with butter. That's all I got to say. So, all right. So now we're down to our putting this together kind of thing, and the whole thing about having that chicken Parmesan, or that, in this case, our pork Parmesan feel. What we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of the green beans, which kind of almost roasted, pan roasted down. And you got the sun-dried tomatoes, the green beans. Got some great flavors. I'll save that butter for later because I just got a little bit that I needed. Right? Look at those great colors. They're just vibrant. They just pop. and they shrivel up just enough, right? And we take our potatoes, which will have a nice little bite to them. They'll have a bite and a crunch. And that lemon, I mean, these are all flavors that are just going to go together so nicely and gives so much more to what we're doing. Now let's go check out our pork now. See, it's got to have one that's ready. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now we're talking. Now remember I talked about like a medium rare pork, right? And it really is important. You can do things not cooked all the way through. Pork is one of those. You get really good pork, especially local stuff. You know where they've been fed, and they just taste so much better. You don't have to overcook them. And here's the Parmigiano part. Here's that awesome tomato sauce that we put together. I might be the most excited person in the room right now. And then we put our shavings of Parmigiano cheese right over the top. And what's going to happen is right before it gets to the table, they're just going to wilt down just perfectly. And we'll just get a little salt and pepper on the table. Voila. That's how easy this is. We're able to do it in a little amount of time. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, if it's really that good, would you even eat it? Well, I brought my big fork with me. Let's see. Oh, tender. Let's see if you can get a shot of this. Hold on a second. Again, the budget on here it's not that high. So you get that, see? It's got that nice and juicy look to it. Yeah? Everybody see that? You see that? Beautiful. And I'm going to have that. So, well, I want to thank you for joining me for my pork parmigiana and pork chop, nonetheless. This beautiful, thick pork chop. Our potatoes, we pan roasted them with a little rosemary and lemon. And then we did green beans with sun-dried tomatoes, butter, a little touch of butter. And we also added, what else did we add in there? Oh, some shallots. Can't get easier than that. Hey, I'm going to finish this off, and I'll see you on our next culinary journey.